Who is rising and who is falling in Marvel Strike Force? In this video, we are breaking down the top 10 free-to-play, aka farmable characters in Marvel Strike Force right now for September of 2021. And if you're ready for that, guys, find that like button and let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Yeah, what is up, Valley Maniacs? I am ValleyFlyin. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. Hope you're having a great day, and I hope you're ready to look at the top 10 characters in Marvel Strike Force that are farmable. Now, the way I've always looked at this, and we've been doing this list for a while, if these characters were missing from my roster, this would be the most painful to replace, so that has a lot of weight to it. Now, if this is your first time here, guys, we've been doing this for a long time, breaking this down. Hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. Hit that notification bell so you know as soon as it is released. And if you're a newer player, you may not want to work on these characters right away. This is not necessarily the order that I think you should farm these characters in, but it's kind of a glimpse as what you could expect once you approach the mid-game and end-game. If you're a mid-game player, these are characters that I think you should be building in the background as you're working on your more important team. And if there's an end game character, if you're an end game player, these are the characters that I think you should be building. These are the ones that are good for me. And the way I've always looked at these characters, guys, if they are available, actually, let's just go to the list before I explain to you. These are characters that are not eligible. So to be eligible for this list, you have to be available in a store or on a node. So there's some really good characters here. As usual, guys, some of the best characters in Marvel Strike Force are not eligible for this list just because you cannot farm them on a regular basis. So premium orb characters like Anti-Venom, White Tiger, even Phylavel, who is recently added to the Arena Orb. None of them are qualified for this list. Some of the new characters that are very necessary in the raids. The two great Dark Dimension characters, Ultron and Doom, also not eligible. So if you're wondering why these characters are not on this list, it's because we can't farm them. Now, like I said, this is based very subjective on who would be the most painful if I have to replace these characters from my roster. Now, those are who are not eligible for this list, but these were characters that are newly available, not eligible last month. They are eligible this month. Now, newly farmable between the last video we did and this one. Domino moved from that Blitz Orb to the Blitz Store, is in there right now. Shatterstar recently became farmable in the Arena Store. Was available in the Arena Orb, but right now is available in the Arena Store at that increased cost. And Moon Knight, not currently available, but since he's going to be available tomorrow on Cosmic 1-3, he's eligible for this list. So let's clear this thing off. And let's start with the top 10 characters. Boom. September 2021, top 10, and coming in at number 10 this month. Boom. First time on the list, has been eligible for a while, but I think Iceman makes the list this month because I'm using him more and more on those mutant lanes in Doom. And I am not sure if we're going to get a mutant raid solution with this new Weapon X team. Now, if you're wanting to get Iceman, very good in the raids and that full Axeman team. Axeman is also a very good war offense team. Let's go take a look at him and some of his skills. Now, as far as the T4 recommendations for Iceman, you can see I only put one in there, and that is his passive. Very, very good passive. Helps the rest of the team. And the reason I think Iceman is a little more valuable than some of the other Axeman members that aren't on this list, it's because of this passive. Let's actually take a look at it. Actually, enemy turn, 30% is attack the enemy for 140% piercing. If the enemy has slow, always attack that enemy for 140% piercing. Not a huge damaging number, but once in a while, this is the difference between that enemy attacking you or that enemy being dead. And as far as Iso-8 recommendations, we got two very popular ones on msf.gg for Iceman. The first is the one that I have equipped, the Raider. 54% of users on msf.gg have Raider on Iceman, but 42% have Skirmisher. So two very, very good classes for him. Like I said, he is an important part of that Axeman team. Very good in the raids right now. Important for Doom 1.1 and maybe important for Doom 2 in that Axeman team. Maybe some hybrid team, but we will see when Doom 2 is released. And if you want to farm Iceman, he's available on Villains 7-9. And let's go back to the list. Boom. And this is who is coming in at number 9. It is Thanos. Now, this character I think is a little more valuable to me than the rest of the Valley Club, based on the comments that you guys were saying on the live stream this morning. Really, Thanos, not as tanky as he was before, doesn't have a lot of armor, not the best tank, but I'm using him all the time in the Doom Raids 1.1 as that energy battery for that Mystic team. But the reason that I don't have him higher, because he would be very painful on my roster to replace right now. Well, it's because we don't have both Cloak and Dagger in the game as I'm recording this. And as Cloak and Dagger both come into the game, along with Deathpool, Thanos' value is going to go down. But based on the way I was using him in August, he needs to be on this list. I think he's a great energy battery. Let's go into the game and see why Thanos is such I was going to say something not PG, but why he's such a good character. All right. Well, if we look at him, he is great in the raids because, yes, that energy battery. The Black Order as a full team is great on war offense. I know some people put them on war defense. I think they're a little better offensively. And if we take a look at Iso-8 recommendations, 59% of users on MFSF.gg have that Raider class on Thanos. Now, if you're using him as that energy battery and not as that empowered version of Thanos, I think the most important T4 that you could put in him is that passive. 80% of users have that passive T4. Now, if you're gonna go with the empowered version of Thanos, using him in a Black Order team, you probably wanted the ultimate, basic, and special. All above 50% of users on MSFGG have those particular T4s put into their Thanos. And if you want to get your Thanos, you could farm a late farm, not an early game farm, but he's available on Nexus 8-9. And yes, very, very good character. Let's go back to the list though and continue with the countdown. Moving on to number 8 is, where is he? There he is. It is our first dad bro on the list, moving up one spot from last month. It is our boy Longshot. And very, very good character. Those X Factor characters, those X Factor members, very good for war offense. They're one of the better war offense teams. I think they're definitely in the top 5 and can counter a lot of teams. The Marauders, the Doom Marauders. There's a bunch of other characters or a bunch of other teams that they could counter. But yeah, very, very strong. Let's go ahead and take a look at him in game, because not only is Longshot valuable in war as one of the X Factor members, also valuable in the raids on that boss node in Doom 1.1. And yeah, he provides a lot of value there. That clone, if Sinister can clone that other Longshot in there, you have 2 Longshots and a Shatterstar in your team. That's a lot of speed that's going to your team. So very, very good. And yes, raids, war is where Longshot is going to shine. Also, Dark Dimension, if you're bringing in both of the dad bros, probably not a good idea, or probably not a good use of resources to bring both of them in. But if you're bringing both of them in, also good for Dark Dimension. And he is a important unlock for Adam Warlock, whose event may be coming around in about a week or so. Maybe. We will see. We will see. That's my prediction, is September 20th, but we will see what happens with that. And as far as Iso-8 classes, I don't think there's a lot of choices here. 94%, almost 95% of users on MSF.gg have that Raider class on him because of the crits, the way his passive works. It's all about his crits. And if we're talking about T4s, I put 3 of them on. Really, the only one you need is that passive. The rest of them are luxury picks. That passive helps him get speed, helps the rest of the X Factor get speed. So very, very good. Unfortunately, if you want to farm him, he's available in that very, very crowded war store, so not an easy farm. Let's go back to the list, though, and see who is coming in at number 7. And, it is the dad bro, the brother of Longshot. It is Shatterstar. First time eligible for this list. Just got out of that arena orb and is available in that arena store right now at that increased cost. And pretty much using him the same areas I'm using Longshot in. They're kind of a duo. You guys suggested for me to combine them as one character. I separated them this list, but maybe for October, we may be combining them as one character because, yeah, you need to use them together for them to be effective. But yeah, raids, war, very good, especially war offense. And let's go into the list, or let's go into Shatterstar and see what makes him so good. It's that synergy that he has with Longshot there. I actually like this move. The reason that I rated him a slightly above Longshot was because I think this move, even though it has a long cooldown, very, very good, especially if you're using him on a war offense team. All enemies defense down. This should be the opening move. This is a big, big, strong move, giving energy out. And if you want to put a T4 on him, or an Iso-8, excuse me, you got to put that Raider class on him. Just like Longshot, you want all those extra crit chance to help his passive, to help Longshot's passive. So Raider is the way to go. And if we're going to really, really budget with the T4, you're going to want to put that passive on him. And like I said, if you want to farm him, he's available at that increased cost right now for the war store. But back to the list. All right, coming in at number 6 this month is, it is Carnage, moving down one spot. Still very, very valuable in the raids, that entire symbiote team, and still kind of valuable in war as counters to some specific teams like the Doc Ock Sinister Six, or any team that has Hela on there. But yeah, the symbiotes are pretty good counters on war as well. But the reason he makes the list, Carnage in particular, is because of his passive and what he does for the entire symbiote teams in the raids, especially the Doom raids 1.1. Let's go take a look at Carnage, see why he is so good. And if we take a look at his Iso-8, the preferred Iso-8 for Carnage is Skirmisher, with 75% of users having that Skirmisher class on Carnage. And if you want to put a T4 in him, I think the best and most important T4 probably on this entire list. It is the 4th ranked T4 on the entire MSF.GG site. It is the passive for Carnage. So good. 90% of users, over 90% of users have that passive on him. He did fall one spot. And I think the other symbiote that was on the list last month was a little more valuable than him, because Carnage is just kind of based on his passive. The way I'm using him in the Doom raids, that's pretty much all he's offering. That basic, just spread debuffs to the rest of the team, and then that passive to give an extra turn meter whenever the enemies drop below 25%. So very, very good character. You need him for that turn meter if you're going to use these symbiotes. And unfortunately, he's available in that very, very crowded war store. So you're going to have to make some selections. Which of these characters on the list, if you don't have them at 7 stars, which are you going to farm first? Let's go back to the list, though, and see who comes in at number 5 this month. It is Beast, returning to the list this month. And I think a lot of the reason that Beast returned to this list, I'm using Axeman a lot more. I'm in that far left lane in Doom 1.1. So getting to that mutant lane on a consistent basis previous to August was not really happening. Now that we got a solution for Mystic, we're combining on the text. Yeah, we're getting to the mutants a lot more often, and Beast, very important in that role. Let's go take a look at him, though, and see why he is such a valuable asset, not just to the raids, but to that Axemen team for the raid. So if we're talking about him, yes, like I said, he is a raid character. That is where they specialize. But just like Iceman, also going to be used on war offense, combating the Sinister Six, combating kind of the same teams that the symbiotes combine, and be the Sinister Six and any team with Hela is very good with Axeman. But Axeman, there's a few other teams that they could beat as well. Beast is one of the most important characters on the Axeman. Whenever I'm using facing the Axeman, he's one of the characters that I take out first, because what he does with his special removes the positive or the negative effects from your characters. Very, very important. 2 negative effects. And I think that is the only clear that the only cleanse that the Axemen have. So yes, very, very important. He's healing them. He's removing buffs. He has a chain attack. He has an AoE attack with that special that we talked about, and it gives him a bunch of buffs. So a very, very valuable member of that team. There's, Jubilee and Bishop. I think they're slightly above him, but without that team, Beast wouldn't function properly. Very good in raids, very good in war, like I said. Healer is a very dominant Iso-8 class for Beast as well, going 88% of users on MSF.GG with that healer class. And like I said, T4 recommendations, there's only one real one that I think is important, and that is that special. So you're clearing off 2 positive effects off of the Axeman allies. But back to the list, and let's see who is coming at number 4 this month. Boom. Where is it? There it is. No change from last month is Scream. And I think she gets a nod a little bit over Carnage because it's not just her passive that is good. It is the entire kit that's good. Strong basic, strong special with offense down, strong ultimate with death proof, and any death, she's giving speed up to the entire team. Let's go take a look at her kit though and see what else makes her tick. Why is she so good? And just like Carnage, just like the rest of the Axemen, very good in raids. They're going to be in the bio section instead of that mutant section though, and very good in war against those same teams that we mentioned earlier. Also, like Carnage, forgot to mention with Carnage, but is a symbiote, which means that the important part for unlocking Shuri, who I'm also using in the tech section of the raids nowadays. And if we take a look at the Iso-8 class, 54% of users have Striker on Scream. So pretty good class. And if we go in order of what are the most popular T4s on MSF.gg, we actually have all of these T4s, very high percent. The special, 50% of users have that special. We also got the ultimate with 46% of users. The basic ultimate 46% of users have that. 41% of users have the basic T4, and 39% of users have that passive. So all of Scream's T4s are going to give you varying levels of invest or value back for your investment in those T4s. But yeah, not an easy farm. Is available on that increased cost of that war store. Now the next character that comes out of that arena, I say an arena, it's supposed to be arena store, not the war store. I think I said war store, but when another character goes into that arena orb, another character is going to come out, which means that Scream is going to move down to that normal cost. So you may want to hold off on farming Scream if you are really short on those arena credits, and there's other characters that you're working on, because the next time someone goes into that orb, Scream is going down to that reduced cost, which is almost half the cost of what it will be now. So yes, farm her. You may want to wait though, but if you're struggling in the raids, especially in Doom 1.1, this is probably the best team that we have nowadays. We may have a solution down the road, but this is probably the best team for bio in Doom 1.1. But moving on to the list, continuing the countdown, we are moving up to number 3, and coming on number 3 this month is our boy Bishop, moving up 4 big, large spots this month. And the reason that is kind of like the reason that we have Iceman on the list. They have Beast on the list. Those Axemen are gaining a lot more value, and they may be that long-term solution for Doom 2 whenever it comes out. But important part of the team for that Axeman, he is the damage dealer. He is kind of a tank with a taunt as well, and he has a very low cooldown on his big damaging move. I believe it's his ultimate. Yeah, the ultimate is the good one. The single target damage is the special there. Both very, very good skills. And if we take a look at which skills that most users on MSF.gg have T4'd, it is that passive and the ultimate. Both of them very big damage. And the passive, it gets a lot of stuff. It gives them more damage reduction for the damage that he's taking, especially valuable because he has that taunt on there, and giving an extra chance to counterattack. So yes, super good valuable, passive. And then this just gives more damage on a 2-turn cooldown move. This is a very valuable one. As far as T4s for Bishop, predominantly Striker. 70%, over 70% of users on MSF.gg have that Striker class on him. And like I said, that passive, very good. 76% of users have that passive T4. Ultimate, 52%. And if you want to farm him, unfortunately, War Store. So this is a character that you're going to have to make a choice, which is the most valuable for you at the current time, which is going to give you the most bang for your buck at the current time. And yeah, Bishop is one of them. Bishop is one of the characters that you should be getting out of the War Store. And let's move on to the list. All right, coming in at number 2. And I don't think this is going to change, because the reason that, the ranking, the rationale for this ranking, I base my rankings on arena. So how valuable are they in arena? And there's only one team dominating arena. There's only 2 characters that are farmable there. Then the raids, in particular Doom, which is where a lot of these characters got their value. We also got the Greek raids as 3rd tier. War offense for me is 4th tier, and then 5th tier is that war defense, and pretty much everything else. All right, and with all of that said, guys, it is time for the number 2 spot. And surprise, surprise, the number 2 spot goes to someone from arena, and it is Nebula, one of the sadistic sisters in the game along with Gamora. So let's go take a look at her, why she is so valuable. I mean, if you've been playing this game for the past few months, you know Infinity Watch is all over the place, and she is part of the Infinity Watch. She is the one who gives all the assists to everybody. She probably would be one of the first kills if she didn't have that revive mechanic. So yeah, super strong, super annoying. I think there's one class on her that is kind of a no-brainer based on the 91% of users that have Skirmisher on her. So I think she's a very good character. Arena, Infinity Watch is dominating Arena. They're dominating War, whether you're using them on War offense or defense. And in the raids, not as much. She loses a little value in the raids. Part of that tech section, and there's not really a great solution for tech right now, but hopefully down the road we'll be getting that. And as far as T4s, only one T4 really makes the cut on MSF.GG, and that is her passive. I did the basic. I think that's a little more of a luxury. Well, maybe not. As far as the raids, yes, but as far as the full Infinity Watch team, especially if you have that Skirmisher tag on her, and Gamora is going with that Striker class, yeah, this is the way to go. This is the way. Skirmisher and the passive. Those are the both, and the basic. You probably want to do the basic. Not as many people have it on MSF.GG, but that is a very good T4 that you could do. And I don't think this is going to be a surprise who is coming in at number 1. Oh yeah, and if you want to farm Nebula, excuse me, Nexus 4-6 is where you could get her. But moving on to number 1, this is not a surprise. Gamora still retains her number 1 spot because Infinity Watch is still super dominant in pretty much whatever game mode you're using them, except maybe War when they're facing the Heroes for Hire. But yeah, very good character. You're going to use her everywhere that you're using Nebula as well. Arena, War, raids, different tags, so you're not going to be able to use her with that Gamora combo in the tech section, but she does have that skill tag. And yeah, if you don't have Kestrel, you don't have Fury, but you do have your Secret Avengers, she works very well on the team. Just like I'm using her as that 5th Secret Avenger in the Gamma raids because we can't have Kestrel. Kestrel doesn't have that shield tag. So let's go into the game and see why she is so good. And we actually got a new uniform on her. I believe since last month. We bought the helmet, but I kind of like this look a little better. Now, she is, like I said, valuable wherever Infinity Watch is valuable or is used. Striker is the predominant Iso-8 class on her. 63% of MSF.GG users with that Striker class on her. And as far as T4s, the reason I think all of them are valuable is because she's an arena character. She's one of the most dominant arena characters. She will make or break an Infinity Watch team. And if I had to choose the 2 most important, I think it's the passive for the T4 and the basic for the T4. The rest of them are good, but unless you're using them in arena, using them all the time in raids, I probably wouldn't go super hard and invest on the rest of them. But basic and passive are 2 no-brainers. And if you want to farm her, very easy farm, probably the easiest farm of anybody on this list. She's available in the Blitz store. And that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the countdown. Hope you enjoyed the list. But before you go, I do want to mention a few honorable mentions that I wanted to include, but I think the characters that made the top 10 are just a slightly more valuable. First is Venom, very good for the Doom raids. Yes, he is the 3rd farmable symbiote, and he deserves a spot on this list, but I think those top 10 were a little more valuable. Mr. Sinister, still very valuable for the Doom raids on that boss node in the mutant section for Doom. One of the most valuable characters, and if you are not through Dark Dimension 4 yet, it's unlimited nodes. Emma, Sinister, and Ghost solo those, as well as the globals. So, very good character down the road. And Kitty Pryde, the 5th member of that Iceman. We mentioned Jubilee, but Kitty Pryde needs a little bit of love there. I think her kit is not as strong as Iceman. That's why she became an honorable mention, not on this list. But that's my list, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Agree, disagree. Like I said before, it's highly subjective. So based on what I've been doing over the past month and who I would be very sad if I had to replace. So your list is probably going to look different. Let me know who you have in your top 10, and I will see you guys next time. Make sure you check me out on Discord. Check out some of the videos, and I hope you have a great day, guys. Make sure you give me that Hulk fist bump before you go. ValleyFlyin out.